Welcome back to Ghouly Pleasures, where the only thing scarier than monsters is our opinions. Kendra?
And I'm Darcy. And today we're going to be reviewing episode 6 of Talamasca. And the title is The 752. Which makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense. We don't have to think too hard about this title this week. They laid it all out in the open.
I feel like we should go back and look at the titles of the other episodes. I'm like, this one's so straightforward. What were we missing with the others? But yes, this episode is all about the 752. We get lots of reveals.
Lots of reveals.
There's honestly just so much to go over. So we're just going to get right into it.
Let's dive right in, guys. Get your popcorn, get settled in.
Yep. And bear with us. We're going to go over this in the most unconfusing way humanly possible. In our opinion, anyway. So we're going to start with Doris and Guy, where they pick up off from last week. You know, they were in the little safe house that Helen set them up in, and they're sleeping. But Doris gets up and sneaks out of bed while Guy is sleeping, and she sneaks out of the house with the 752. But Guy is so sneaky. Our little Guy.
Yep, he's learning. He's learning the ways of the spy. He picked up. He knew something wasn't right.
He either wasn't sleeping or he's a light sleeper, but he wakes up and he follows Doris and confronts her, like, why the hell are you leaving? And she's basically like, I'm leaving for your own good. People who get close to me get hurt. So I need to leave. She doesn't get a chance to go on her own way because they see on the news that Jesper went on another massacre and he killed all the witches at the boathouse coven that Doris had previously been staying at. So poor Doris.
Yeah, Doris is a little freaked out. She's like, oh, what the hell's going on here? So they rush back to the scene.
Yeah. Can I just say, immediately proven right. She's like, everyone I get close to dies. And then immediately on the news, oh my God.
Everyone I was close to just died.
Literally. But like Kendra said, they rush over to the scene of the crime. And this is where they end up being confronted by Detective Ridges.
Find in the picture.
Exactly.
With the cast. She's on the case.
She's been looking for the guy in those yellow trainers this whole time. Like, are there no other people with yellow trainers in all of London?
I've never seen them before in my life. I honestly don't spend too much time looking at people's feet. So if somebody asked me to identify somebody's sneakers, I'd be like, I've never seen those before in my life. I'm sorry.
You'd be lucky if you got a general color from me, never mind the type of shoe. But Detective Ridges is good at her job, I guess, because she finds them and she brings them in for questioning. And as she's guiding Guy and Doris to her car, this is when Guy finally clocks the frickin' book in Doris's bag. And it's just like poking out. Like,
literally. It's been poking out. He just now noticed it.
Yeah. Surprise. So Detective Ridges takes Guy and Doris in for questioning, and she starts presenting a bunch of circumstantial evidence. And remember, honestly, I remembered as it was happening, I was like, oh, yeah, Guy was about to be a lawyer. So he's basically calling her out like, well, it's all circumstantial, so screw off. But not all of the evidence is circumstantial. Because if you remember from way back in episode, 2 or 3, maybe actually 2 or 3, when the detective found some hair at the crime scene, and Kendra and I assumed, we were like, oh, that's probably Guy's.
Because he was there. We seen him there.
Exactly. He's the only person besides the 2 victims that we saw at the scene of the crime. But surprise, it's not Guy's DNA. It's Helen's.
It's Helen's. Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum. Which immediately I was like, what the f***? What? What did she do? She wasn't even in the country. What do
you mean? But okay.
Literally. But at least at this point, I was like, oh, okay. We're about to start getting some information. And indeed we do. Because while this is going on, Helen is over here and she's doing her own research. she finally tracks down Dr. Jameson slash Dr. Melville. And she finally gets some answers from this guy about her own backstory, about what that Talamasca Institute was doing when it took in the kids, everything. She
Mhm.
finds out essentially that Emma's talent was a perfect memory, which we saw in the last episode
Yep.
when she could recall every little detail that was asked of her, which sounds exhausting. Don't want that. Thank you. The biggest reveal in this scene, however, is that after Helen was sent to America, her sister Emma was sent to Amsterdam.
Mhm.
And she put her talent to use reading all of the Talamasca's records. This is where we get the big reveal of the episode that Emma was sent to Amsterdam after Helen was sent away to America. And when she got to Amsterdam, the Talamasca put her to work reading all of their records. And once she committed all of those records to memory, they proceeded to burn them. And they did this because now they had a living backup. They had Emma with a perfect memory who was going to remember everything that she read from the Talamasca records. And
Mhm.
they didn't want to hold on to their physical copy because they were worried that if someone got their hands on it, they could use it for evil.
Evil.
So the Talamasca decided to burn all of the records, and now they basically are using Emma as a living backup.
Mhm.
So Emma is the 752.
Emma is the 752.
She is our living, walking backup of all the knowledge that the Talamasca has ever had. Were you surprised?
Not really. Honestly, at this point in the show, whatever it tells me, I'm like, sure.
Right,
Okay.
honestly, I'm just like, okay, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do have some gripes about this. We'll get into them as we get more into the
As
show.
we as the show reveals more,
Yes, because there's still so much left
there's so
to
much.
be revealed. Because not only is Helen's sister, Emma, the 752, we also find out in this moment that Emma has been going by a different name. And that name is,
Dun dun dun. Big reveal number 2.
yeah. So this girl who's been stalking Guy over here this whole time is actually Helen's long lost sister.
The one that she's been hunting for this whole time, and the one
Right.
who's been working with Guy very
Been
close,
under her nose.
right under her nose. They met face to face.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But so, you know, Dr. Jameson, Dr. Melville, he's been very helpful in
Mhm.
spilling a bunch of information.
Spilling the tea, yes.
Yeah, yeah. And it seems honestly like he had some more tea to spill.
Mm-hmm.
But before he could, his assistant or housekeeper, it's not really clear what she is, but she shoots him dead in the head.
Yep. Instead of tea was spilled, blood was spilled.
And interestingly, she leaves Helen,
Yeah, she leaves Helen. She's like, "Don't do it. Stay there." And then she
right?
leaves, and we never hear from her again.
No. So this was really weird to me because I'm like, what was he going to say that's more damning than the information he's already shared about Emma really being Doris, who's really the 752? Like, what else was there?
What else?
And the interesting decision that everything that he'd already spilled was fine and safe enough, at least, to leave Helen living with that knowledge. And is she working for someone else or what?
What else? I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Another question to add to the list.
Put that in the corkboard. Another question.
For real. But so, his assistant, housekeeper, whatever she was, she shoots Dr. Jameson dead. And then Helen gets the hell out. And we see her contact her favorite little tech bro over in New York. And this is where she learns that Interpol has a warrant out for her arrest
Mhm.
for what is now a double murder. And this is because, bringing it all frickin' around, if you haven't pieced it together yet, Doris was at the scene of the crime, but she's also Helen's twin.
So they have the same DNA.
Correct. And Doris has been hidden away by the Talamasca this whole frickin' time, obviously. So her information isn't going to be on record. So poor Helen is over here biting the bullet, essentially.
Mhm.
But Helen still doesn't know all the dirty details of this yet.
Yeah.
So she assumes that Olive framed her.
Mhm. Reasonable conclusion to make.
Yeah. I was like, that's legit, but it's the one thing she didn't do.
Olive's been doing a lot, but she didn't do that.
Yeah, I was like, Olive has been guilty of so much, but damn, even Olive might have a line. So Olive did not frame her, though at least Helen is on the right track now. She's like, oh, I definitely can't trust her now.
Mhm.
Speaking of Olive,
Yeah.
she shows up back at the police station.
In her little Party City wig.
Oh my God, it's so bad. Her little Party City wig, dressed as MI5, once again playing pretend, and she bails Doris and Guy out of jail, essentially. And side note, in the background, the detective's little police tech finally, after what, last episode, that file that was encrypted was
Mm,
like cracked,
yeah.
but they went out to frickin' dinner or whatever, and he doesn't see it until he's coming back in, like however long later.
Seemed like
So
the next day.
it seems like
You
the
just left that
next day.
encrypted message open on your computer all night.
Right. I won't disclose the details of my job, but I work with way less intense stuff than that, and I have to close my computer every time I walk away from it so no one sees it, okay? I'm just saying. So, whatever. He finally knows that Olive has a bunch of little secret identities. Remember, she's Chrysalis. And unfortunately for him, it's a little too late though, because Olive already got what she came for. She got Olive excuse me, Olive already got what she came for. She got Doris and Guy, and they're making their way out. So,
Mhm.
too little, too late, my guy.
Little too late.
And as Olive is bringing Doris and Guy out of the police station, she's basically claiming to Guy that Helen has betrayed them.
Mhm.
Like, here's a question. She knows that Guy can read minds.
Mhm.
Why did she think this would work?
I don't know.
Thinks because she's like Talamasca, she's all special.
I don't know.
Well, it doesn't work for long because Guy promptly starts reading her mind as they're making their way to these getaway vans that they have. And he quickly pieces together that Olive and the men that she's brought are not up to anything good. Honestly, I don't even know how to explain the rest of this insanity without sounding crazy. I mean,
So what he does is like he reads Olive's mind first, and she said, "This girl, she has the book. She had it the whole time." So that puts Guy on alert. Like, what's going on? Okay, let me get ahead of this.
right. And before he can get ahead of it, though, they like grab Doris
Mhm.
and she's like trapped in a van and they start making a
Guy and
getaway.
Olive start fighting while
Yes,
the car gets away.
exactly. Olive is kind of like outside holding off Guy and they're fighting. It was a cool, I liked little hand to hand combat. It was fun to see.
Fun.
Yeah. But the van that's, making a getaway with Doris doesn't make it far at all because all of a sudden there's like blood splattering
Doris
across the freaking.
slices his throat. I thought it was a knife or something, but we soon
Yeah.
reveal
Or
it
magic.
wasn't.
I thought it might have been magic, but no.
Girl, no,
No.
we were so wrong about her because it never said that she was a witch in the first place. We just assumed because she was with the coven.
Completely
It was in
true.
ever stated that she was a witch. So we take that back. We're
Yeah.
sorry. We didn't know.
Here we were being like, why doesn't she just use her powers? Now it makes
Isn't she a
sense.
witch? Because she's not.
Right.
She's something else, though.
She is. The van stops and guy runs to the door to get Doris out, but he don't gotta do shit because Doris bursts out and she's a
Fangs
fucking
out.
vampire. Fangs out.
Doris is a vampire.
I was wondering if I saw wrong for a second.
Girl, as soon as that scene happened, I was like, okay.
Mhm.
That's just so much to put on this character because not only is she Helen's long lost twin sister, she is also the 752.
Yep,
And now also a vampire.
literally.
And we find this out in the span of like 5 minutes.
Yes. And like all these scenes are happening back to back to back. Like, honestly, it was too much.
It was too much.
And I'm going to say this now because if I don't say it now, I'm going to forget. Having all these reveals back to back, I was like, is Doris going to be the new main character or something? Like,
Mm,
what the fuck? Because, like, I swear, this is why they named Guy Guy. I swear to God, they had to have been in like the writing studio being like, Guy's just an ordinary guy.
guy. That's why I can't stand him.
Truly.
Like, even in that interrogation scene earlier with the cop, I was like, he's annoying me. Shut this man up. I don't care. You may be right, but shut up. You're so arrogant about it. I can't stand you.
Whenever a guy starts preaching, I'm like, stop. I don't care if you're correct, but you just need to be quiet. But yeah, no, guy be guying over here. Doris, and here's another thing I need to say. There are so many fucking names. Like, Doris has 2 names.
Mhm.
Helen has 2 names. P.S. Helen's real name is Fiona. P.S. It's so much to keep track of.
Who cares, though? It's not important. We've known these characters by these specific names, so we will continue to call them that.
Correct. They will be Doris and Helen forever. Anyways, after this big reveal, Doris is also a freaking vampire. Olive dips the fuck out while everyone's distracted, and Guy and Doris commandeer the van with the corpse of the guy that she just murdered still inside, and
Yeah,
they
guy
make
just like tosses him in the back seat, like, let's just move this side of the
yep.
way. Right. Let's get out the road.
Oh, poor guy. He going through it. Going through it. So Doris and Guy finally make it to a safe area, and Guy opens the book. He finally opens the book
Mhm.
that everyone has been chasing this whole time. And that's where he finally starts to realize, oh, this really is a freaking scrapbook. Doris wasn't lying when she said it's
Wasn't like
literally just a scrapbook.
literally just a scrapbook.
Yep. So obviously he's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? He confronts Doris, and now Guy is starting to catch up with the audience, where he's finally realizing that Doris is the 752, and via mind reading, he also learns her past. So now he knows that the Talamasca has been using her as like a living archive, and that she's Helen's sister.
Mhm.
And this is where we circle back to the cold open that we didn't talk about because, dear God, there's already so much to talk about. But essentially, we find out that the Talamasca purposefully turned Doris into a vampire so
Yes.
that she could be their living archive forever.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, because if
I
you're gonna
mean,
make her a living
yeah,
archive, you want her to stick around for a while. You gotta make her
right.
immortal.
Exactly. I mean, how often are you going to find someone coming around who has this same ability that Doris has? You know what I mean? They
Mhm.
already burned up the frickin' archives, so they can't lose their copy now.
Literally, they only have one copy left, and it's her.
Exactly. But they were total dicks about it because they were like, yeah, we're going to make you a vampire so you can live forever, but we're going to find the most mediocre vampire we can and have him change you so that you don't get any special powers or strength.
Mm.
So essentially, zero power to resist. Fun story. That's a great way to spend eternity. Just like on call, basically, whenever someone wants information from you.
Yeah. What a terrible existence.
Yeah. So it's understandable that she ran the fuck away.
I would too.
Yeah. And that's how she ended up meeting Kevis, and they became very close. And Kevis really only got involved with Archie, remember the guy who killed her, because she was worried about Doris.
Mhm.
And then Doris found Archie having killed Kevis, and she kills him. And that's part of why her DNA was all over the crime scene, because she was there and she did kill Archie.
Yep.
Yep. It kind of looked to me like her and Kevis were maybe even living there together.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's implied that they have a very like maternal and like a mother-daughter relationship.
Mm.
So Guy finally connects all the dots, and so does the audience. And it's exhausting.
They really throw so much at you
Yeah.
in these like last 5 to 7 minutes. Well, in those last 5 to 7 minutes. And it's like, okay, well, whatever the show wants to tell me, okay.
Right.
Because like none of it felt like a big reveal that I'm like should be gagged over. Because
Right.
one after another, one after I'm like, okay, just
Right.
what else is happening?
Right. They should have petered out the information a little bit more, I feel like. Like, give us a reveal in the previous episode, the penultimate episode. Like,
Mhm.
give us some breadcrumbs. But that's one of my biggest gripes, honestly, is that there was no chance for the audience to piece this together. They
None at all.
kept all the information that we could have used to figure it out from us. Like, there's no way for us to predict that Doris is Helen's long lost sister, because Helen is a woman of a certain age and Doris is quite younger.
Mhm.
And we have no way of knowing that Doris is a vampire because Doris actively hides this within the universe.
Mhm.
So there's no reason for us to suspect that there could be cause for Helen's sister to be younger than her. I mean,
Like, it's just in my opinion, it like, like, these are big reveals, and they're
yeah,
interesting, but how
yeah,
they presented them in a way, it felt like too much.
yeah,
They were just exploding exposition at me, and I'm supposed to be
literally.
like, but I was like,
Right,
"Oh."
right, right. As a viewer, personally, I feel like it's just more rewarding if these things happen gradually,
Mhm.
and if there is a trail for us to follow and put the pieces together ourselves too.
Especially if it's, like, one of those things where if it's, like, sprinkled in, you can, like, go look back and be like, "I missed this," but I don't think there's any
Exactly.
point where they revealed or gave any sort
No,
of hint, any of these
no,
reveals.
no. You would have to be a writer. You would have to be one of the writers to know all of this information. There's no way. I mean, you know what? I'm sure there's some crazy sleuth out there who has a reason for why they predicted this. But a regular viewer, no way.
So
So it's
but to
it's
be
just not.
fair, it is only 6 episodes, but I feel like even if they had more episodes, I wonder if they would've written it differently.
I wonder. I don't know. Unfortunately, it's one of those things where, we'll never know what the alternative could have been unless someone kindly sits down and tells us what the plan was if they had like 8 or 10 episodes. But I don't know. I'm not mad about any of the actual like revelations.
No,
I'm
they're
just right. I'm
but
just
it's how
disappointed
they
how they are
floated at
presented.
it. Yeah.
Right. It was too much. I was literally in my bedroom like, "Oh my god.
As
Huh?
soon as she busts out the
Huh?"
fangs, I was like, "Okay,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
else is gonna happen?" I was just waiting for another reveal.
Right. And then honestly, the way that they had these POVs shifting back and forth from Doris and Guy versus with Helen, and you're kind of finding it all out at the same time, but again and again, back and forth. It
Mhm.
was really weird.
Was.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. But anyways, now that Guy and Doris have escaped the cops and they've escaped Olive, they decide they're going to go meet up with Helen at the train station. So hopefully they can get their passports and get the hell out of London because everyone's after them at this point.
Everyone is after them now.
Yeah. So they make it to the train station and they're on a train. They're just waiting for Helen to show up. And of course she does, but nothing goes well because the Talamasca are freaking there already on her tail.
Mhm.
And Helen makes a very noble sacrifice.
Yes.
She basically turns herself over to the authorities, the actual authorities, not the
Tell
Talamasca.
him out.
She turns herself into the cops so that the Talamasca will back off from her and not be led to where Guy and Doris are.
Yep.
So she does at least get, one nice emotional moment where she sees Doris on the train with Guy and they make eye contact. And it's the first time where they're looking at each other with the full knowledge of who
Each
the
other.
other is. Yeah. And it's nice. The actresses did a beautiful job conveying the emotion without any words.
Mhm. I love
So,
the crying blood. I love it.
yes, my
It works
God.
every time. An Interview with
It
the
was like,
Vampire killed me. This
ah,
killed me. I love it. Love that little thing.
loved it. It gave me like, for all the Supernatural fans out there, Jensen Ackles, his single man cheers that comes down. Except it was blood and it was glorious. Oh, my only complaint is when she wipes it off her cheek, and I was like, damn, there's like no stain left behind. That was the cleanest blood.
I mean, how often do you cry blood that you know how it stains when you wipe it
Well, I
away?
mean, when I bleed blood, it doesn't wipe up that easily. But I guess fair enough. But yeah, so they have a great moment. And I will say now that I really do hope they get to explore that relationship more in the future.
Mhm.
I won't hold my breath, but fingers crossed. And then, so Helen gets dragged away by the cops, and Guy and Doris remain on the train that they're in. And, you know, Helen was really smart and stuffed the passports in some other traveler's like coat. And she
Mhm.
like telepathically lets Guy know so Guy can go and pickpocket their passports. So they got what they need to make their great escape.
I love the lady who just kept getting bumped into so she can be pickpocketed.
Nada! She doesn't even
If
glance.
somebody bumped into me twice in the span of like 5 minutes, I'd be like, get me off this train. I'm not going anymore.
Right. Especially when Guy literally, like, he's walking down the aisle and bumps into her and then literally takes 2 more steps and turns back around and walks back. I'd
I'd
be
be
like,
like, what the
"Well,
hell,
then why
dude?
were you walking this
What
way?"
the And I
That
feel
just
like
seems
the
a
show's
little
supposed to tell us,
suspicious.
oh, he's getting better at this pickpocket stuff. And I would have been like,
No.
if I was that woman, I'd be like, what the fuck did you just do? Wait,
Right,
why would you
especially he turns
intentionally bump into me and then turn immediately back around after doing nothing?
right. He should have, like, walked a little more, at least pretended like he was looking for something, but he just turns right back around and then it's like flashes the passport store. It's like, "Hey, girl, look
Ooh,
what
like
I
I got
got."
him.
Like, oh my God, Guy, you need to stop.
Super
Oh,
spy guy.
God. Super spy guy. But then there is a moment I want to say that Doris, she like says something to Guy here, like after, they see Helen and they're chatting and Doris says to Guy, like, oh, she really seemed to care about you, like you were family. And I don't know, maybe I'm reading into it or something, but it was just the way like, why did she say that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like
It
it was
just made
said
me
for a
feel
reason.
exactly. That's all I'm saying. It felt intentional. It felt suspicious.
That's suspicious.
But anyways, Doris and Guy have what they need to escape. So they escape to a boat.
They're on a little ferry.
Yep. And they're chatting about going their separate ways because, Doris can't be around anyone that she doesn't want to get hurt. So, and she drops one final tease as they're discussing what they're going to do. And she tells Guy, I think I know where your mother is.
Dun, dun, dun! Of course she does.
I was so mad. I was like, this was Guy's whole motivation the whole fucking season.
Mhm.
We don't get any answer. We get, like, some flashes in her as he, like, reads her mind when she says this, but, like, nothing was really
Nothing
clear
we
in
didn't
any way.
see. Like, the
Right.
fact
Yeah.
he's talking stuff we'd already seen. So, like,
Exactly.
it revealed
There
nothing.
was nothing helpful. Which, now understanding the way this show likes to do its reveals so far, tracks.
True.
So, we won't be given the information until the reveal is happening, it seems like.
Yeah, they had to leave some stuff set up for next season.
Right. Speaking of setting up for next season, we haven't even talked about Jesper really this whole
Yup, our
episode so
King
far.
Jasper.
Yeah, he's got his own shit going on. He is having a day.
Mhm.
I mean, first he turns up to the witch's boathouse, massacres everyone. He doesn't find Guy. He doesn't find Doris. He doesn't find the 752. Disappointing, I'm sure.
Such a bad day.
Such a
Poor
bad day. And then his little friend at the London Mother House, who he's been, working with this whole time, suddenly starts confronting him and calling
Mhm.
him out. Guy ain't having that.
He's like, "I'll just kill you." Kills
Yeah,
him.
Jesper just kills him. Rip. Another one.
Mhm.
Although, maybe he's alive. Because we didn't see him die. We just saw his whole, like, front end get ripped open from navel to, like, chest.
Yeah, I'm sure he's fine. It looked like just a scratch.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. It's fine.
It's a little
I
bright.
didn't see him draw his last breath, so I'm not counting him out. You never know. He has been getting, like, fed vampire blood to cure his cancer, so you never know. Is all I'm
True.
saying. You never know. But right after Jesper attacks the head of the London Mother House, a fucking smoke bomb goes off. And Talamasca agents run in.
Mhm.
They put a freaking, like, Hannibal style muzzle on Jesper's head, and then they wrap him up in a fucking carpet.
So good. Classic carpet roll.
I lost my mind. They wrap him up in a freaking carpet and carry him out of the building and into a van, and off
And
he goes.
Olive walks by, was like, that's not suspicious."
Yeah, all of us like, okay, interesting. And then Olive heads inside because, I mean, might as well walk in and see what happened after that,
Mhm.
right?
'Cause it wasn't suspicious at all. She's just checking fuss
Right.
like, fun.
Yeah, what happened here?
See, they
So
have these
Olive
few
heads in.
carpets that they can take.
For real. She goes in and she sees that basically all of Jesper's revenants have been murdered. They've been exterminated, except for our favorite,
Our best
Checkers.
star of the show,
Checkers lives.
Checkers.
He lives. And he answers to Olive now because
'Cause she
Olive,
flicker.
yep, she picks up Jesper's clicker, click, click, click. So this is a cliffhanger.
Mhm. 'Cause what is she gonna do with this now?
Yep.
'Cause we
Olive
still don't even
definitely.
100% know Olive's motivations, who she's aligned with.
Exactly.
She's like a
Right.
lone agent right now. She could do anything.
Right. The episode completely clarifies that she absolutely was working with Jesper. Once Doris and Guy make their getaway, she calls
Mhm.
Jesper and lets him know, hey, Doris is a freaking vampire. And she has the book, also PS. So, and then obviously she went to the London branch where Jesper was. She was going to meet with him. So she was aligned with Jasper, but who knows now
Exactly.
what she'll be doing. She had a very conspiring expression on her face
Yeah.
when she realized she holds the control with Checkers now.
100%. She seems like she's gonna be the new villain in the next season.
Yeah, I agree. She's definitely going to play a more outwardly villainous role, which, I mean, could be fun. Maybe she'll be a better villain than she was a watcher. Like, 'cause
I
she
feel
did
like Jake
not
would be a
do a
more
good job.
interesting antagonist than
Yeah.
the antagonist we have.
Honestly, yeah. I'm here. I'm here to see what happens anyways. We'll see. While she's discovering her bad self, Jesper, wrapped up in the carpet, is taken to Talamasca headquarters. And this is where he meets Houseman, aka the man who watches.
The man who watches.
Yes. And if you watched the episode, you'll know that we've seen Houseman here and there throughout the episode, and we've already learned that he's basically been behind everything. He's the person who is behind Doris's situation, turning her into a vampire. He's looking for her right now.
He is basically
Yeah, it's also basically insinuated that he's known what Jesper has been doing this whole time with the London mother house, and he's been allowing it to happen because he felt like Jesper would lead him to Doris.
Mhm.
And I mean, he wasn't totally wrong.
Yep.
Houseman starts chatting with Jesper, starts going on about quid pro quo. Want me to take your mask off? We can have a little chat. So, he takes Jesper's masks off and he asks Jesper how many vampires he thinks are in the world right now.
Mhm.
And what does Jesper say, Kendra?
Not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Just like he's been saying throughout the last few episodes, there's not enough vampires. He wants to make more. Well, guess what?
He's about to get a
Houseman
fish.
says, exactly. Houseman says, we can do that for you. He leads him into a room. And I really liked this scene because it really was a direct reflection of our cold open, where Houseman leads a random vampire into a room and has him turn Doris. And in the cold open, you don't know it's Doris because her face is covered and she's just turned to the side so he can properly bite her neck.
Mhm.
And now when Houseman leads Jesper into what appears to be the same room, there's like 16 new bodies.
It's a hallway of ripe necks ready for the biting.
Yep. And Houseman tells him, get to work. Get to work on making your dream come true. Make some vampires. And it looks like Jesper does.
Yep. And
I'm
that's where
excited that yeah, that's where it ends. I'm excited that we're going to get to see Jesper's dream come true in some capacity.
Oh, just give me more Jack.
Yeah.
I'll be happy.
Yes. Yes. Give us more Jesper. But, Houseman was talking about quid pro quo. I'll do something for you. You do something for me. So the thing he's doing for Jesper is letting him create more vampires. It'd be interesting to see what, the cost is. Does he have a purpose for these vampires that Jesper is creating, or is it unrelated to what he plans to have Jesper do for him in exchange?
I feel like he must have a purpose for wanting more vampires also.
Yeah, I think that's probably, I mean, from a writing perspective, if you want to keep it clean, that's going to be the smartest way to go about it.
Mhm.
But what his motivation is, we have absolutely no clue.
No idea. What does he need all these vampires for?
Right. No idea. I really like how we did get a couple answers, right? Lots of mysteries were solved.
Mhm.
We now know what the 752 is. We
Who
now
held
know
this?
who Helen's sister is, and they're all one and the same. Doris is the 752, and she's Helen's sister. And we know why Helen's DNA showed up at the crime scene. All that came full circle in the end. But now what's Olive's next move gonna be? What's
The
gonna be
tell
the result of Jessica? Right. What's the Talamasca planning? What about Guy's mother? Where's Doris gonna go? What's gonna happen to Helen? We do see Helen being arrested, and she's
Mhm.
in the car with the detective who's been on the case the whole time. And there's a little conversation that goes back and forth between them where low key sounds like Helen might be trying to recruit her a little
Yeah,
bit.
she seemed intrigued. She was impressed by how much she discovered about them.
Yes. And she said, you strike me as someone who has potential but was overlooked. So it'll be interesting if that detective is still in season 2 and how things will progress from there. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they set up a lot of good things for a new season.
Yeah. I mean, plenty of content for them to explore, plenty of characters for them to
Mhm.
flesh out. I mean, can I say this is the first episode, maybe the first time in the Anne Rice television universe that I actually felt like the Talamasca was a threat.
Mm.
Like, I never felt like, I mean, obviously, they're a sketchy society that does shit behind the scenes. But when we meet Houseman in this episode, this is the first time where I'm like, we already knew that all the Talamasca people have their own agenda. But what happens when someone at the top
I
has
know
an
I never even
agenda?
considered, like, who was at the top of the Telemasca. I didn't think that was gonna be revealed.
Right. I mean, there might be someone above Houseman, but as it is right now, it seems like he's pretty high up there in ranking,
Mhm.
and nothing he seems to be planning seems good.
No.
I mean, he's probably got some twisted, idea in his mind. He'll be like, it was all for the greater good as he's
That's
like,
100%
torturing everyone,
gonna be
killing
that.
people.
Because I feel like the Talamasca
Right.
probably started from a place of good and probably twisted
Right.
along the way. It became what.
Right. Right. They still think that they're adhering to their original goal, but it's like, how twisted are your actions going to be, and how much are you allowed to step out of line before your original ideal is no longer being upheld by your actions?
Mhm.
So I don't know, but I can't say that I loved the way they executed this episode,
Yeah.
but I can say that I like the story and I like the characters. Like, the universe just has so much potential.
Yes, that's the thing. I feel like the universe has a lot of potential. The stories are interesting. It's just how it's particularly written and presented in a way that makes it kind of like not digestible, but like it's just too much.
Yeah. I think you got the right word. Like, it's not easily digestible. Like, I mean, the first however many episodes were,
Hmm.
because they didn't shove a million revelations down our throats all at once.
Yes, because like
They just
you go back and listen to our other episodes of this recap. We have so many like theories and things, and we're wrong about all of them.
Yeah. And that's what makes me mad. Not being wrong, but the fact that you realize we had no chance
Hmm.
of making a correct pro- projection about what was going to happen. They
Hmm.
kept every piece of information that you could have used to make a theory about what was going on totally secret until the end.
Hmm.
Until it was actively revealing all these secrets.
Which I can understand, like, that's a fun way to do that too, if you think about it. Just throw all the information. Like, if you're not one to watch TV shows like this where you're trying to dissect it and figure things out, some people just casually watch television. And, like, this is like a
What's
sit
that
and
like?
get there kind of show. You're not really that into it, but you're intrigued enough that you're not trying to figure it out. You know what I mean?
Right,
You're
right.
not that
Yeah.
invested. You'll just let the show tell you a story.
Right, which, there's a place for that. There's a place for that. I don't feel like a universe like Anne Rice's universe is the place for that.
Mm,
Everything's so intricate. It's like, I don't know. It just feels like for shock value,
yeah.
you know, how some writers, who I won't name here, some writers will be like, yeah, we changed the ending because people predicted it. We didn't want them to know.
So petty.
Yeah, so petty. But I mean, when you keep all the information from us, that's how it feels. I just want things to progressively make sense as they go
Hmm.
throughout. That's all.
That's the kind of shows I enjoy.
Yeah, that's it. Take me along the journey with you.
Mm.
All I'm
How would you rate this season of Talamasca a 1 to 10?
That's hard. I mean, say maybe like a 7.
Mm,
I don't wanna I mean, there's a lot of things that I think could be improved upon, and I hope with season 2, which hasn't been confirmed yet, but is quite likely to happen.
yeah.
I hope they get more episodes because now they've only added characters. So you need time to thoroughly explore all these different storylines that you're creating with all these different characters. But I did really enjoy the universe that they created. Overall, I really like the characters. Even when they have unlikable moments, I find them to be realistic. So I think there's a lot of potential and I did enjoy it. I just have some little gripes here and there. But yeah, I feel like 7 is fair. And
Yeah,
that's not a bad score. That's
no,
not a
it's
bad
hard
score.
to rate this because it is essentially just a setup season.
Right.
So I feel like
Yes.
it's setting up for it to be a potentially good season 2 because they laid all the
Yeah.
groundwork already in season 1. Like that season 1 is just setting everything up. So there's not too much like
Right.
delving in you need to do. They're just giving you all different information you need to go forward. So it is hard
Right.
to
And like
like
you said, the last 2 episodes were exposition,
mhm.
essentially, which is you don't want your penultimate and your final episode to just be exposition, but that's really what it felt like.
It was, unfortunately.
Yeah. What would you rate it?
I would give it a solid 6.
That's fair.
Better than average, but
Yeah.
it's not great.
There's room for improvement, and I do think they can and will because now they've done all the hard work. They've
Mhm.
set everything up. Now they can really expand on everything. At least I hope that's what they're going to do.
It's like you said, I really like the Anne Rice universe, so I'm intrigued into this story, and, like, I like the characters well enough, I just wish the writing was executed in a way that presented them better.
Right. I don't know. We'll see.
It was
I enjoyed it though overall. Overall.
overall
We will be watching season 2
mhm.
and before that happens, we will be watching The Vampire Lestat.
Oh,
So, make sure you tune back in. We'll be here when that's here and we can't wait.
we can't wait. I heard that they were supposed to be playing Lestat's music in this, and I did see some article that's saying his music was played, but I couldn't find out where.
Girl, I couldn't take in anything except what I was.
As soon as Doris jumped out that van with fangs, I was like, "Okay, whatever the show's
Yep.
trying to tell me, I'm just gonna sit here for it. I'm done trying to figure things out."
Literally, I was like, "Okay, okay, okay." If you didn't watch the episode, we find out that Doris was concealing being a vampire by putting contacts in her eyes, and when she took out those contacts, I was so mad.
The
I
way
was
she
like,
took them out was so unrealistic. Like,
"I know! Oh my god, she took them out dry, and then she popped it back in because, like, bro, I wear contacts. Hell no, that ain't going back in my eye after that." And, like, she just, like, popped it out like, "Bruh, no, like, catch me peeling my eyeball over here when I take my contacts out." Yeah, no. No, no, no. Final thoughts. Do you think Guy is gonna try to go back and be a lawyer? Nothing came of his lawyer friend creepily calling him, being like, "We're here for you, buddy." Remember, we
oh,
thought, like, "Oh,
another
this
one
might
of
be
our
something."
theories that came to no fruition whatsoever.
Right? Like, like, Guy ain't even working for your law firm yet, and you're this worried about him calling him back in what was that, episode 3 or something?
I wonder what the
I
timeline
can't
is. 'Cause how long has he been away? How long is this leave of
that's
absence he's been on?
right! Oh, that's a good question. I'll be really curious. I wonder, season 2, if it picks up right where it leaves off. Is there gonna be a time jump? Where will the characters be?
We have no idea because they haven't even confirmed a season 2 yet, have they? I
Nope.
mean, it just ended, so.
Yeah.
But they
I'm sure it'll
wrote
be
this whole
confirmed.
season as if they had plans and were confident there's going to be a season 2. Because I feel like you wouldn't
Um,
do this season
yeah.
the way it was if you weren't confident there was gonna be another one to follow up.
Right. I think they're banking on, like, that the Anne Rice universe has a built-in audience, so
Hmm.
And they predicted right, because this isn't the type of show that you and I would have sought out if it wasn't in the Anne Rice
Oh, 100%.
universe. But it's good to branch out every now and then.
It is.
We
Because we
liked it.
will
We
be
liked it.
doing the Vampire Lestat. We will be recapping that when
Yep.
that's out. Yeah, what else are we gonna do? We're still doing Derry.
Yep. Right now we're still reviewing Derry, which has 8 episodes of Welcome to Derry, so 3 episodes left, which makes sense pacing wise. And after Welcome to Derry finishes up, we'll cycle into horror movie reviews,
Mhm.
which is our personal, you know,
It's our
love,
bread and butter.
our bread and butter. We love horror movies, so we'll be checking out a lot of those. Good, bad, everything in between. We love it, and even if we hate it, we love to roast it.
Exactly. Sometimes the worst movies are the best movies.
Honestly, for real though. But yeah, so if you enjoyed following us on Talamasca Season 1, make sure you check out Welcome to Derry and any movie reviews we do moving forward.
Yep. Thank you guys for listening. See you guys next time. Bye bye.